Hello and welcome back to the What is K-pop podcast, in which we talk all things K-pop. Woo! I'm so sorry, I just burped. So today we are talking about something a little bit. How do I say this? A little bit more disturbing, I guess you could say. If we're gonna call an egg an egg, it is a little bit more dark. It's not gonna have in the title. It's not gonna say the exact thing, but if you are aware of what's going on currently with Blackpink's Jisoo's brother, then you'll kind of know what has been going on with him. Some I don't know if I think it is like confirmed now, but he might have assaulted a female streamer in a very well, to be fair, like all assaults are horrible, but in a more adult fashion, perhaps. I don't want to say it. It's a little bit intense. Okay, so on the 16th of April, KST time in Korea, on Channel A, the Gangnam police station in Seoul received a report of an indecent assault on a female streamer and arrested a man in his 30s, identified as Mr. A, on the spot. And it's a family member of the popular group, obviously, Jisoo from Blackpink. The streamer told the police that Mr. This is all coming from Koreaboo, by the way. The streamer told the police that Mr. A had purchased a dinner date voucher worth around $1,030 US dollars, and which was about 3 million Korean won, to have dinner with her. After the two had drinks together at a restaurant in Gangnam, the man took her home, promising that he would not initiate any sexual contact. However, then Mr. A attempted to assault her. Mr. A has reportedly denied the charges, claiming that his physical contact with the woman was not coerced, and the police plan to question Mr. A and verify facts, keeping the possibility of an arrest warrant on the table. Although the identities of neither party have been reported as of this post, some media outlets posted blurred photos of the man in question and the possible idol linked to him. This has, had some speculations. When someone searched the image, it was Jisoo from Blackpink's brother. Somebody thought it might be a Girls' Generation's member's older brother or anyone else. Leading on with, how could someone who has a younger sister even entertain the thought of committing a sexual crime against another woman? It's essentially dragging their own sister's name through the mud. And another person said, like, if a dinner date costs 3 million won, isn't it just common sense that sex is included? But he said that he obviously wouldn't want sex, so the lady wouldn't have been thinking about that. So on another post, another comment from the streamer said that he tried to sexually assault her in addition to forced physical contact, which we have already said. He promised he wouldn't try anything, but also while inviting her to his house, and that he drove drunk while after the dinner. And it was said that when the police knocked on the door and Mr. A opened it, it said, he promised that he wouldn't have any sexual contact with me. I already rejected him several times, but he forced physical contact and also tried to sexually assault me. And obviously it's being speculated that it is Jisoo's brother due to the picture that was being used of her brother and so obviously like a lot of people already knew who was gonna be who was more than likely be. And we do know that this isn't if it is true, this isn't his first offence, and that he was accused of filming other employees without their consent, which we are going to quickly talk about now. I didn't know fully like I was going to do this episode today. I was actually thinking of doing about Unchild, which is the new group, like the Stacey's younger sister group. Yeah, because I did say in the Stacey discography episode that I wanted to talk about Unchild. But yeah, this seemed more pressing at the moment given recent updates. Okay, so Jisoo's brother is called Jung-hoon, which is just good, so I'm going to refer to him as Jung-hoon. So on the 29th of May in 2025, Korean outlets reported that someone on Blind, which is a platform for employees to speak anonymously about their workplace and must be used by a verified work email, revealed that Jung-hoon had previously filmed them whilst having sex. So the quote said, "I was secretly filmed by BLACKPINK Jisoo's brother. There is only one person involved. It took me a long time to write this. What I went through was so horrific that I couldn't even speak on it for a while. But I can't go on living like this, so I've decided to gather the courage to share my story. Everything in this post is based on my real experience. At first, I trusted him. He introduced himself as the brother of a famous celebrity. He spoke well and told me about his dreams, saying that he was running a business. At the time, I had no reason to doubt him. I thought he was an impressive person and believed that he genuinely cared about me. But that was a complete misunderstanding. He did not have my consent. One day we were having sex at his house. It was only later that I found out he had secretly filmed the intercourse with a hidden camera." So while the whole post wasn't shown, the article did share other parts of the main post. Another quote is, "I couldn't believe it. But when I heard that he was showing this video to his friends and even bragging about having multiple illegal videos of different women, I felt so ashamed and terrified that my whole body froze." The post further stated, "He wasn't just involved with me, he was also having sex with several other women at the same time. Among them was a woman he had met while his own wife was pregnant, and with some women, he forced them to film and send him explicit videos, claiming he treated women as mere sexual objects, completely disregarding their will or feelings. I never consented. I didn't know I was being secretly filmed. I am a victim of everything that has happened. I'm considering taking legal action. If needed, I am ready to join forces with the other victims to speak together." So obviously the post was deleted. Honestly, these posts do tend to get deleted from Korean media outlets, but luckily sites like these, a lot of these sites, they have some level of bullshit, I will say. And I do always clarify it with going on to like Naver and Natepan and like those sorts of things. It's just obviously easier for me to read off of a website like this just because it's written in. So, like with translated English, sometimes it's written like every single word is directly translated, and that doesn't actually always make like legible English, if you didn't know. So, it could be like there's obviously like better ways to like greet yourself. So, like, "Hi, my name is Sophie." It might be, "Hello, my name is Sophie," my full name. Like, it isn't as easy for me to kind of say it, so that's why I use these sites. But we do always check our work. So back onto the female streamer. So I'm just looking. Okay. So the police are investigating a man in his 30s, identified as Mr. Kim, and Jisoo's family name is Kim as well. But I mean, like, Kim is very popular family name in Korea, so I wouldn't use that as a piece of evidence. It's incredibly popular. Who is known to be a family member of a female idol group member on charges of sexually assaulting a female streamer, and other allegations have surfaced that Kim and an acquaintance, also now called Mr. A, threatened the victim by saying that they would distribute her photos of her body, prompting authorities to look into the further details. You see, this is like kind of then what like this is like kind of gonna sound a little bit strange, and I fully understand if it's like what, but like sexual assault obviously is very bad. I am not saying anything about that. But the sheer idea of like having those photos then spread online, that is like worse. And I think I think a lot of people would agree with the idea that it's worse because the sexual assault thing, like, I can ignore that, I can forget that, I can, like, push that to the back of my mind. And obviously, it would take time and all that, but I can, like, push that to the back of my mind. I don't have to think about it. But the idea of it, not only am I being assaulted, but then, like, those photos up, like, photos that I know obviously were taken, they could end up online on, like, a video, or if they didn't even say that they had, like, they said they have, like a number, and I don't know how many, and then everything is just, like, out there, and I can't forget that. That is worse. But I think a lot of people would also agree with that. But yeah. So, according to the police on the 17th of April, the Seoul Gangnam police station received a complaint from the victim, identified as Mrs. B, accusing Kim, who was arrested on the 15th, and Mr. A of violating the Violence Punishment Act, which is obviously the threats of using filmed material and distribution of illegally taken content. So in her complaint, Mrs. B claimed that Kim, who had received photos, shared them with a third party and then used that to threaten her with releasing them online. And the police have applied for an arrest warrant for Mr. Kim. The incident happened on the 12th of April during an event hosted by Mrs. B on a online streaming platform, Soup. Mrs. B held a raffle event costing $6.76. Sorry, $6.76. I'm getting myself confused. 10,001 per entry, and offering prizes such as a meal day ticket and selfies. Mr. Kim reportedly purchased 500 entries at once, so he won first place and received the meal ticket date and the photos via KakaoTalk. So after winning the meal date, Kim met Mrs. B for dinner in Gangnam on the 14th. He suggested that they move to his home, saying that it's about 5 minutes away, continue to drink. Mrs. B kind of said that she didn't want any physical contact, which again, women are completely fine with doing that. Sometimes it is a part of, like, their service. You can tell how awkward I am about this sort of stuff. Like, it's a part of what they do that they don't, that they're kind of, the words could be helpful right now. It helps with the mystique of it all if some things are left to the imagination. Which again begs the question of, how do I know about that? How do I know about it? I don't know. I want to make it clear that I don't watch those sorts of things. God, no. So I just need to plug in my laptop a minute. We love a good chaotic podcast, but this is just me, I'm afraid. Yeah, so he promised obviously that he wouldn't touch her and took her home to his home, and then his attitude, his whole demeanor changed, and he tried to touch her, and she said that she didn't want to. And Mr. Kim, he admitted that he did do it, but that he didn't use any force and that he didn't coerce her. So I'm like, okay. Like, you still did the thing. Like, thanks for admitting you did it. So Mrs. B also said in her complaint that between 1:42 and 9:30 a.m. on the 17th, she also received messages from an unidentified Hong Kong-based Kakao Talk account, which included her photos and a high emoji GIF thing. And she asked about the images, and the account then responded with some not so nice messages like the photos will be released soon, deal with it before they spread online. And she actually ended up saying that she, like, pleading with the person to not share them, and they said your parents must be heartbroken. Like, this is just horrible. Like, if you are like a club performer, you're an adult movie star, you're like, you do that sort of stuff. Like, you're an adult entertainment star person. Great. good for you. I'm so pleased that you have found the industry in which you want to work in, and I hope it goes well for you and that you're able to make as much money as possible. With that, it doesn't negate the fact that you shouldn't be subjected to people wanting to spread photos of you online. Like, you shouldn't have your privacy invaded just because of what you decide to do for work. Like, it shouldn't even be a question that these people do not have the like the most basic level of respect. These people are still people. They just choose to live their life in a way that suits them, and that's fine. It's genuinely just like, oh, your parents. I hate that idea of your parents must be heartbroken, because when I was in school, completely off topic, we just love to get off topic. So while she was at Kim's house, Mrs. B went to the bathroom under the pretense of washing up and turned on the water to mask the noise of her messaging the manager, saying, "He won't let me leave, and I think they're going to kill me. Please save me," asking for help. So obviously that then led to the police pitching up at the doorstep. It's actually so. So Mrs. B said, "I'm so scared. What should I do? They're going to kill me. What do I do? Please save me." Manager then said, "I'm almost there. Lock the door and wait for me." Mrs. B said, "Please help me. I don't even know what the number. I don't even know the unit number. Oh, I'm going crazy." And then it just leads on with the previous stuff. And then lastly, he's been released from his arrest. So the Central District Prosecutor's Office dismissed the arrest warrant requested by the police for Mr. Kim on the 17th, and that there hadn't been sufficient substance of for the charges, so there wasn't enough to charge him on. That, like, obviously Mrs. B, she released the chat logs. Like, there, it seems like there's enough evidence, but unfortunately, with these types of things, if it's not banged right in your face, then there's nothing really you can do. Like with the Bannings and stuff, like there's no way that any of them would have gotten off scot-free. At least, like, there's no chance that Sungri wouldn't have gotten at least some police time, like, even though he didn't get that much and he got it reduced. Like, I think Korea would have been in an uproar about it. It's a horrible place to be a woman, I will say. South Korea is. Just the world in general is horrible. But yeah, that is all. I'm gonna cut out the stuff about my own life because I got a bit existential. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.